Hello everyone, my name is Rascom, and welcome back to Room to Talk. And I say back to Room to Talk because if you were here prior to 60 subscribers, you may or may not know about a series I started called Room to Talk, where I basically picked a topic and I basically talked about it for the entire episode. And I think the first and only one was PC versus console gamers, you know, stuff like that. But this one's going to be a little bit different. Today's episode, the first one, as a matter of fact, the official first one, is going to be about YouTube in general. So I'm going to be talking about some things that YouTube is and some things that YouTube is not. My obvious experience with YouTube. Now you're going to be seeing gameplay. I'm actually playing Xbox here while I talk because that's one of the best ways I can kind of focus on talking. But basically, you're going to be seeing a different gameplay than what I'm doing right now. You're going to be seeing a Battlefield Hardline gameplay most likely that I did really good on. I used some good tactics and stuff. So that's going to be there for you to see. You know, I'm going to be trying to do some more Battlefield Hardline in the future. Some more Battlefield Hardline videos because I've only done one or two maybe. I think it was just one. But either way, here we go, starting off. Let me answer one quick question here. This is probably the one question everyone wants to know, and I did some research into it. So this is the true answer. I'm sure if you ask anyone who does YouTube, they're gonna say yes to this. If you do YouTube, you're gonna understand. You're gonna know what I mean by this. Is YouTube a job? And I'm gonna answer this right now. Yes, it technically can be a job. You know, a job is kind of something you do, I'd say, every week on average. You know, it doesn't have to be every week, but a job is usually something you do, you know, on a schedule or something like that, and you get paid for it, so you can kind of pays you back for your work. That's what a job is, and most people should know that. A hobby, on the other hand, is something you do for fun, something that you like to do. It can benefit you, but it usually doesn't. I mean, it can, but most hobbies don't really benefit you back. They're just something you like to do. YouTube is a hybrid of a job and a hobby. For me, it's way more of a hobby than it is a job, especially at such a low subscriber count. I guarantee that you're not gonna really get too much money from YouTube if you're at a low subscriber count like I am. I'm at about 265 or so. I'm at a decently low subscriber count. But of course, everyone who does YouTube one day is going to get big. It's obvious, you know. If you keep making videos, eventually you will get to 1 million subscribers. There really is no doubt about that. You know, if you think about it, there's just, unless something happens, the world ends, YouTube gets shut down, which I don't think it will, because YouTube is actually, a little bit of note here, YouTube is actually more watched than television now. More people are watching YouTube than television by now. So I'm actually thinking towards the future, YouTube might become the new television, and we'll have YouTube. We'll have a little YouTube console like we do Apple TV and stuff like that. We'll have a little YouTube thing hooking up to our TVs with a little remote. That's just kind of a thought. It actually, if you think about it, that could actually happen, and I think they might actually make that. But you know, pre-recorded things are kind of the new trend, you know. No longer, you know, do you have to get on no longer do you have to get on TV and you have to be there right then and there to watch the show. On YouTube, once it's up, and you can watch it whenever you want. On TV, like The Walking Dead, for instance, The Walking Dead, if you want to watch that on your TV, you kind of have to either record it or know when it's on to be able to get, you know, to be able to watch it at that time, or else you miss it. Or you can record it, like I said. But with YouTube, once it's up, you just watch it whenever you want, however many times you want, and it's stuff like that. So I think in the future, that's kind of what might happen. YouTube is going to turn into the new TV. So that's one of the questions right off the bat. So it is a hobby and it is a job. You can turn it into a job, you can turn it into a hobby. I kind of like it as a hobby. You know, I don't have to do videos every day. I don't have to do videos every week, but I want to because it's fun. the second question that a lot of people do want to know about YouTube, and I'm not one to say this is like the truth here. Once again, like I said, at a low subscriber count, it's kind of hard to say really that much about YouTube, but I do know quite a bit from watching other people's videos, and I can kind of feed that information to you. When you get to 1 million subscribers, what happens? I'm obviously not anywhere near 1 million subscribers, but I can tell you what happens. Extensive research. That's what it's called. Extensive research. I did a few hours of it actually, so I can tell you all about that. So once you hit 1 million subs, it starts to get a little bit difficult to, you know, please your audience. Well, not please them, but it gets a little bit difficult to interact with them rather, because of this, you know, so many comments you get, so many views, so many likes. It's almost hard to choose your goals to reply to comments. And that's why people with over 1 million, with like 2 million, 3 million, 4 million subscribers have an even tougher time replying to comments. So sometimes they just decide they're not even going to do it, which I don't really think is a good way to go, because you want to always try to. I'm always, and I've kind of vowed to do this, no matter what my subscriber count is, I'm always going to try to interact with you guys, no matter what. I'm going to try to. I've kind of made a schedule here and there. I do have people, you know, talking to me on Instagram, talking to me on Twitter, especially YouTube and stuff like that, with comments, asking me questions, all that stuff. And I appreciate it so much. That is to the point where I cherish every comment and stuff so much that I know in the future when I get to 1 million subs, if I get to 1 million subs, when I get to 1 million subs, that when I get there, it's going to be hard. You know, I'm not going to be able to cherish every single comment or every single like that I get, because there's so many of them at a time. And I'm not trying to get cocky here. I'm just saying, if you know what I mean, once you get to that point where it's like just too much for you to, you know, handle, you just can't cherish everything, if you know what I mean. So after all that said, a lot of people also want to know how much you get paid from YouTube. And me, myself, I've actually gotten $5. I've gotten $5 from YouTube, and I don't really care about that because that really isn't that much. I can make that easily by washing the dishes or something. But, you know, it took me a while to get $5, and I'm at $265. Like I just said, I'm not going to be specific. I'm just going to say $260, $270. But once I get to 300, I'm going to start cooking up some different kinds of videos. I'm going to start cooking up some montages and stuff like that. I'm going to try all I can to make better videos as we go on, and eventually I'll have really great videos and really great fan base, just like everyone else. You know, you keep making gooder videos, you get gooder fans. And I know gooder isn't a word, I just used it, so don't worry about that. But either way, like I was just now saying, YouTube does pay you quite a bit at 1 million subs. I'm not sure how much, because no one can release that information. I just released you that information. I've gotten $5, but I'm not sure if that matters or not. If it does, then if this video gets taken down for that, I'm probably just going to, you know, repost it and just kind of take that part out. But it shouldn't, because you would expect that. Like, that's kind of what people would expect. So, but you kind of have to, and it's not just from views, it's mostly from ads is what you get the money from. It's not from views. I mean, it technically is, because if you get views, then you get views on your ad, and if people stay for the ads, then you get the money. You know what I mean? But, you know, in order to get people to see the ads, they have to see your videos. And in order for people to see your videos, you have to get a ton of subscribers and likes and stuff, and that's how people get to your videos. By fame. So that's really the only way you can get paid. Stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting topic. You can look up some videos on it if you really want to know more about that. Let me see the time we're at. We're at 9 minutes, so we still got a while to go. Okay, another question about YouTube people want to know. Is it hard editing and making thumbnails, or rather, how long does it take? And for me, honestly, it depends on the video, it depends on the thumbnail. I always try to make my thumbnails and stuff good looking, appealing, you know, something you want to click on. That's always what you want to do with thumbnails. You know, and one rule, I don't really like to use clickbait. You shouldn't really use clickbait. You know, if something doesn't happen in a video that it does in the title, like if you say, oh, guy gets shot, you know, guy gets shot, and then people click on the video and the guy just gets shot by like a BB gun or something, that's technically clickbait, but it's not at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like, he gets shot, but he gets shot with a BB gun. But the difference is, if you put in the thumbnail the guy getting shot by a real gun, that's a whole nother level of clickbait. That's literally saying this guy gets shot by a gun, because you can see the picture and you can see the title. And if they click on it and it has airsoft, you know, a guy getting shot by an airsoft gun, that's kind of being a jerk, because you're giving someone, you're giving them an idea, they go into the idea and it's not what they expected and they wasted their time on your video, and they're most likely either not going to give any feedback or they're going to dislike it, which is something you don't want. And also, you're going to have on YouTube, you're definitely going to have haters. You're going to have people that like to leave daily dislikes. I've been seeing that a lot lately on many different channels, people saying just here for the daily dislike. I've seen it on many channels, and I even get a daily dislike. Like, I'm probably going to get it on this video as well. I get like 1 dislike per video. But as usual, the people that actually care and understand my situation, they leave likes, and when they do, they always overpower that 1 dislike. You always got to think positive with this. Don't ever think negative. You know, if you get 1 dislike and you have like 5 likes, don't let that bring you down. It's brought me down before. I'm like, why does this guy always dislike my video? I don't know who it is, and I'm probably never going to, but it doesn't bother me. So if you know who you are, it doesn't bother me. So just, you can keep on disliking the videos, but eventually the likes are going to get so high that that dislike is not even going to matter. That's how you have to think. You just have to think, okay, I'm doing good all the time, because if you don't, you're gonna get discouraged and you're gonna stop doing YouTube. And I can definitely say that, because that's kind of stopped me. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I stopped posting videos like 3 months ago, for literally 3 months. I just stopped after like I forget which video it was, but you'll know there was that giant gap. And then I think I posted a skit or something, or a video or something like that, and people enjoyed it. And the reason was because I started getting that 1 dislike, and it really started to bother me that someone hated me so much that to purposely go on my channel, probably not even watch the video, and just leave a dislike. That's probably what they were trying to do, bring my channel down. But really, the only thing dislikes do is bring your channel down in the ratings. That doesn't mean it can't get popular. That does, however, mean that, you know, if it's not spread to you by someone telling you, or by a link being sent to you, you may not be able to find it if it has an immense amount of dislikes, unless you directly search for it. But other than that, that dislike isn't really going to matter at all, because if there's more likes than dislikes, the video is classified as a positive video, and it'll be sent out. And it'll be more popular. However, if your dislikes overcome your likes, you're going to have a different problem. Your video is going to be less rated, so YouTube's going to try to keep that video away from you because it's not rated as well. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That aside, you also want to make your thumbnails, you want to make your titles, you want to make everything, you want to make them seem believable. You want to make them good. You don't want terrible titles and terrible thumbnails and terrible tongue twister, terrible audio, video quality, all that stuff. Now, a lot of people I've seen, they have really good thumbnail editing skills, but they don't have good video quality, and that kind of brings their video down. Or they have really good video quality and not very good thumbnail or title skills. Now that's a different story. That's not really based around YouTube in a way. And I'm going to answer one more question for YouTube, and then we're going to be done here for this first episode. So in YouTube, a lot of people think it's hard work. You know, how many hours do I spend on a video a day? Well, I'm going to answer that question in 5 different ways, probably. Maybe more, maybe less. The first way I'm going to answer this, if you're talking about a gaming video, without face cam, I'd say it takes maybe an hour or two to maybe record a gaming video. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to edit all the parts that I do not want out of it, and maybe an extra 25 minutes or so carefully picking out the music, and then rendering it takes, I'd say, 2 hours or so, maybe an hour and a half. So it takes quite a bit of time to produce a gaming video. On the other hand, if you're talking with face cam, it's like twice that time, because I have to cut out the face cam as well, mash it up with the audio, which only takes a second or two, but still, you know, with the face cam it takes like maybe 0.2 times more. It takes a little bit more time. But definitely increases the render time if you put face cam on there. Definitely increases the render time. If you're talking about a skit, that can literally take a day or two. A skit can, depending on the type of skit. If I put in an in-depth skit that has like tons of different visual effects I want, audio effects, all that stuff, I want to make sure all the audio effects are like top-notch, visual effects top-notch, music carefully picked, edits carefully edited. All that stuff needs to be carefully picked out and, you know, used in the right way. And then again, I do, you know, try to find a good way to do the thumbnails. I usually get that done in under 30 minutes. So skits can take up to a day or two, actually. Films, on the other hand, can take up to weeks. If I'm editing a film, it can take up to weeks to make sure that I have everything I want, all the effects. Because films, I like to put the most visual effort into, and also the most auditorial effort. Not sure if that's the right word. Auditorial. Audio. Maybe. Auditorial. I'm going to go with auditorial. But yeah, it takes the most effort, you know, audio and visual wise, to produce, you know, because you want everything the best. Then if you're talking about updates or vlogs and stuff like that, those only take around 30 minutes, honestly, because they don't have much to them. It's music, gameplay, and commentary. Or I just literally cut out parts of the camera footage and upload it. So it really isn't much. Now a lot of people ask me, this is just a small question before I go. People ask me, how do I do my intro? And you probably saw it at the beginning of the video, how it just kind of flies in over the video. Like it's not a filled in background, it's kind of over the video. Answer is, I basically did that over a green screen. I just got a green background and animated it on a green screen. I just key it out and put it over a video. That's literally all I do. So there's that question, and there's the episode, the end of it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. This is going to be the first episode of Room to Talk. You can ask me about anything in the comments below. I'll look at multiple videos, see if I have any questions I can answer, more topics to look at, stuff like that. And I really did hope you enjoyed this episode, because I went really in depth with this YouTube thing. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe for more crap like this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.